Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another JVS movie review. Today, I am bringing you the review of an upcoming Amazon Studios possible awards contending film, Sylvie's Love. But before we get into the particulars about the film, I'm going to quickly drop you synopsis, then we're going to get into everything else. Sylvie has a summer romance with a saxophonist who takes a summer job at her father's record store in Harlem. When they reconnect years later, they discover that their feelings for each other have not faded with the years. So, this film, Sylvie's Love, me and Sam got an early preview of this film from the Middleburg Film Festival, which is happening this weekend in our local area. And again, this is one of Amazon's awards contenders. Amazon has lots of award contenders lined up this year, but this is one that they really want to get awards attention. And we'll get into why I think they will get some and why they won't get the things that they think they're going to get here. But this stars Tessa Thompson as Sylvie and Nnamdi Asomugha as Robert. Now, I know I'm only giving you two characters, and the reason I'm only giving you two characters is because just like if you all know, just like films in 1950s, 1960s, those romantic type films, while there are other characters in the movie, the two main characters are really the only ones that matter here. No one else matters in this movie. This is a movie driven by these two lovebirds, is a good way to put it, or what we get in this story. So the film opens up with just a montage of what Robert does for a living, as we see that he is a saxophonist for a jazz band, but a jazz band that's not making any money. And then we transport and see Sylvia in her father's record store watching television. And from that, we glean that Sylvia is in love with television and in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And Robert is in love with music. And then we get the connection of these two amazingly talented actors. First, let me say this. Miss Tessa Thompson is great in this role. I mean, really, really great in this role. From Sylvie being shy at first, to Sylvie coming out of her shell, to her being this super ultra confident woman. Every stage of Sylvie's life, Tessa plays it with grace and beauty. And that says a lot for this type of film, where that is possibly the key point of this character. Again, she reminded me of Grace Kelly when I was watching this movie, and that's a pretty big amount of praise to put on any actress. But Tessa Thompson knocks this role out the park. And then we have Nnamdi Asomugha, who, man, like, coming from that, I knew him from the NFL as one of the top cornerbacks when he played in the NFL, to he's played some bit roles here and there. He's played some great supporting roles. But as a lead, I had not really seen him. And in this film, it made me want to see him more. Meaning, I need to see him in other things at this point. Like, Nnamdi kills this role. On every level, he kills this role. And it's just with being such a sincere person in this role. Like, Robert is a very touching, sincere soul. And the point that resonates with Nnamdi in everything he does in this, even when it's some moments where Robert does things in this film that you may disagree with, Nnamdi just comes across as so smooth with it that you're willing to say, okay, she should forgive him. Like, it really, really works with these two. And their chemistry is undeniable in this film. And we get to transport through three different stages of their relationship here, and through both having separate relationships outside of their relationship, and just how everything still turns right back around to them, and how in this entire film you're always rooting for them to come out in the end as a couple. Now, speaking from a directing standpoint, the movie is great. I mean, really, really great. Let me I'm trying to get the director's name, and hopefully I get it right. Eugene Ashe. I think I said that name right. If I didn't, I am so sorry, because he's the writer and director of this film. But his direction is so touching and so simple, and it works for this type of film because that's what you need. And for them to be going for that 50s and 60s motif that they strive for in this film, and to have a modern day director be able to pull that off is a talent that I don't think will get enough attention for this film, but should get a heck of a lot more attention of his talent of being able to pull that off. And also with him writing this, because the key part with this film and this type of film is that the story has to be extremely simple but good. And this story is extremely simple and good. And what I mean by that is you kind of know everything that's going to happen. Nothing is going to be a surprise here to you. But it's executed so well, from the lines spoken by the actors to the actors' performance to the direction of it, that you don't mind. You're just there to sit back and enjoy this amazing ride that they put you on in this film. And that's something that I didn't know what to expect coming into this film. And then after this film, I'm like, wow, this could be one of the best romantic films I've seen in a couple of years. Definitely from a predominantly black cast. Now, the only gripe that some people will have with this film will be the point that this is portraying a black relationship in the 50s and the 60s, and there is literally one or two mentions of race. And I know for some people that will be a sticking point, because in this time period especially, it possibly should have been more mentions of race, especially with Sylvie wanting to be a television producer. And that's one of the few times we ever get race mentioned, is her bringing up that her boss, or the woman who she goes to interview with for a job, is a woman, a black woman or black Negro television producer. And we are transported in this world where we're just supposed to accept that and move on. While I didn't mind that, and I kind of found it refreshing in this setting with this film, because if you don't tend to want to focus 100% on race, I am perfectly fine if you mention it and then move forward with it. And that's what this film does. But for some people, I understand that may be too big of a pill to swallow. For you all, if it's too big of a pill to swallow, there's not much I can do. I'm just going to say, if you can sit back and enjoy it and understand that that's the message that's being delivered, is the message that love rules over everything, and not necessarily wanting to deal with the racial aspects of that time period. But Sylvie's Love, Amazon Studios. I want to say this film releases in December, around December the 25th. This film is going to release on Amazon streaming. Now, out of a possible 10, I'm going to give this movie a 7.5. And normally for awards contenders, that is not the best score. But from a movie standpoint, it's a really good score. Really, really good score. I'm going to defend my 7.5 here for a minute. It's a really good score. Performances, I believe Tessa Thompson pulls a great performance. Nnamdi pulls a great performance. I don't think their performances get elevated to the level of awards contention performances, but I do enjoy their performances a lot. This is a film that, while I've seen some films from this film festival that I believe the performances are better, I don't think I'm gonna get a film that sticks with me as much as this one did, or as enjoyable. Like, I want to see this movie again and again and again and again, because it's an enjoyable film, but it's not necessarily an awards caliber film for Amazon. But I mean, maybe costume design. I can see getting it for costume design, possibly, but that will probably be it. But that's perfectly fine too, because I think it's going to be an enjoyable movie for everybody to watch. So again, check out Sylvie's Love, dropping on Amazon in December. This has been another JVS movie review. Peace, people.